Welcome to reaching my channel. I'm so happy to be able to share some of my knowledge on such topic with all of you. Today we're gonna discuss, interact about S.O.N. What's S.O.N stand for? Stand for Self-Organizing Network. The S.O.N manage, organized the user Wi-Fi connection for a better experience. The S.O.N uses a series of algorithms that will lead the best connection and move the user devices to that particular location. As you can see in this diagram, in this picture, the user moves around different locations in his mansion. Well, I say mansion because it's a big house. Well, not that big, but in his house. And it doesn't matter where does he move, whether it's outside, in the living room, kitchen, dining room, his office, and bedroom, or in the bathroom. The connection is being followed to that Wi-Fi device. Now, for those who don't understand, in certain internet service provider, the Wi-Fi connection is subdivided into particular hertz, which is actually gigahertz, which is the 5G and the 2.4 gigahertz. The 5 gigahertz pretty much is the faster connection, which in this particular case, which you already recently saw, the subscriber, the closer is to the router, the better and the faster the connection will be. 5 gigahertz pretty much is very well known and very well used when you're really close to the router. 2.4 gigahertz is pretty much when you're far away from the router or outside of the house. Connected devices will move seamlessly between 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi signal, and between access point, if there is a Wi-Fi extender being added into your network. Connected devices will move around the house by the user, and the user won't really need to see the difference. I mean, the algorithm system pretty much will swap or will flip the two from 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi connection to the 2.4 gigahertz without the user doing it manually. For example, when your Wi-Fi is actually S.O.N enabled, the two unique Wi-Fi names, SSID, assigned to identify your 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz bands will convert into a single Wi-Fi name, SSID. That's what I was trying to explain before. You won't see two different connections on your network, one that says 5G and the other one regular, which is the 2.4 gigahertz. It's gonna unify this feature into one, and through the algorithm built into this particular feature, it's gonna flip you automatically depending on how far or close do you move from the demarc point, which in this case is your router. And it retains the Wi-Fi name password you currently have. So if it actually has, if you have a password, I mean, if you're pretty much gonna have the same username and password for both, pretty much it's gonna actually retain it, and it's gonna keep you into the same scope. If you have a different, it's still gonna do the same. It's gonna retain. So in case somebody wanna get access to your router on this particular Wi-Fi connection, and you have it in a different way, you protect yourself. So some people may actually ask, why will my Wi-Fi name the ESSID with my 5 gigahertz is no longer available? That's something that pretty much many people call into the call center and start to wonder why my 5 gigahertz is not seen on my network. In order for the S.O.N to work correctly, a single Wi-Fi name or SSID is required, meaning that when you enable it, one of the gigahertz connections is gonna disappear. You don't wanna see it. Pretty much the 5G product is gonna go away. The single SSID will support both the 2.4 gigahertz and the 5.0 gigahertz connection. But now you will no longer have to manually select between the two Wi-Fi names. That's what I was trying to say. The router shall determine if the device connects 2.4 gigahertz or 5.0 gigahertz bands, so the best performance can be provided. If you're too far away from the router will definitely get you 2.4 gigahertz automatically. You still qualify, you're still capable to deal with 5.0 gigahertz, but at that particular point, the algorithm require or believe that it's not good for you to go there, so it's gonna give you the best path possible for you to connect and enjoy your internet connection. Do you have the capability to turn off your S.O.N? Of course. If you choose to disable the Wi-Fi S.O.N feature, the router or my Fios app, which in this case, if you're using Verizon, which is normally you'll see these features from Verizon's company, will provide you the capability to enable and disable. You can actually, the step below, pretty much you can open your Fios app, select the Wi-Fi settings, and then select the self-organizing network, and then you turn it off. It's very simple. Do you have the capability to turn it on? Yes, it's the same procedure. Open your Fios app, select the Wi-Fi settings, and then select the self-organizing network, and then turn it on. You can call the call center, and they'll do it for you. They'll help you to do it as well. What security modes are supported for the S.O.N? WPA2 is the only encryption supported by the S.O.N. Another question is, if I have a third-party router, non-Verizon, can I have S.O.N enabled? No. Unfortunately, S.O.N, as I was trying to explain before, is only supported on the Fios Quantum Gateway router, which there is a video which I explained and show it to you, the preliminary section of the router, getting to know the router. You can actually check that in my video, one of my videos I have, trying to get admin username and password to get access to your router. That's the router that I use as a sample. And you gotta have the network extender as well that is capable for a particular router. Other routers may provide their own version of S.O.N, which is not comparable with Verizon devices. Okay. Another thing is that if you're using their Fios Advanced Wi-Fi router, and let's say this is actually pretty much the version 1, version I, which is the black and red router, which you actually saw in one of my videos as well, and you're using a network extender, can you have S.O.N enabled? No, you cannot do that either. The S.O.N is only supported on the Fios Quantum Gateway router, and it's Fios Network Extender, which Verizon can actually show you in their site which extender will be the best for. You can actually check it on the Verizon.com/devices, I believe it is, but you can go to Verizon.net or Verizon.com and check in the device section, and it will show you. Some of you might have first generation of network extender, and you might be wondering if you can use the S.O.N. No, you cannot use the S.O.N. The S.O.N. is only supported again with Fios Quantum Gateway router, which is better known as the G1100. If you have a device that specifically require connection to 2.4 GHz or 5 GHz bands, and you have a single Wi-Fi name with S.O.N, how do you ensure that you're connected to the correct band? Moving forward, how does S.O.N enable or disable my work if my router is being replaced? If your router is being replaced, let's say that you rented it or purchased it, and you have already opted into the S.O.N enhancement, your new replacement router will also be S.O.N enabled. Pretty much, Fios Quantum Gateway router is the first router of the Verizon hierarchy of routers to have such feature. If you actually go for the next router that is after this particular quantum gateway router, you shouldn't be concerned about if it's gonna have it or not. You're definitely gonna have it. The S.O.N, well, you gotta actually go to the same configuration as you did this one before, but yeah, you're gonna have S.O.N. If you had not previously opted into the S.O.N enhancement, the S.O.N will be disabled by default, and you will need to opt in via the My Fios app, which that's what I explained you how to do that before, which is really simple. Some other people will say if do I need to reboot my router and the extender after I enable and disable the S.O.N? Yes, I really encourage you to do so. Rebooting your router after enabling or disabling the S.O.N feature enhancement. If you have an extender, Wi-Fi extender, and you reboot the extender as well, rebooting the router and the extender will ensure everything is reset. And your devices, let's say phone, laptop, or other devices that you have connected there, Xbox, PlayStation, have the ability to disconnect and then reconnect to the Wi-Fi. Pretty much devices that you move around with, not static ones. Another question normally that comes up is that does my router get the S.O.N if I move my files to another location? Yes. If you move your Fios service to another location, your router would automatically receive the self-organizing network enhancement. With S.O.N enabled, the two unique Wi-Fi names assigned to identify the 2.4 GHz and the 5.0 GHz bands will convert into a single Wi-Fi name. name and retain the Wi-Fi name password you currently have for the 2.4 gigahertz. To disable this enhancement, pretty much you gotta go into my Fios app. As I told you before, you can call the center and do so as well. In a nutshell, S.O.N, guys, is to give you the capacity for you to switch either to 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz band without you getting in access without you going to the Wi-Fi settings and say, okay, I'm gonna step away from the router, I wanna go to 2.4 gigahertz, which it happened before. And sometimes people were annoyed because they used to see the name of the Wi-Fi changing, and it was kind of annoying. The request, they lost the connection, and they just wanted to, for them to connect, they had to go to a different band to connect, because you move to a different. This is gonna do everything for you. You're still gonna connect. Everything's gonna be changed with the algorithm built into this S.O.N without you noticing that it's being done. And you will continue to do your work, and listening to your music and stuff without being worried if you're into 2.4 gigahertz or 5, which that's what you can see around here. This guy, this model user moving around the home and still using it without any problems. If you want to read, want to know more about this, you can actually check this questionnaire down here at the verizon.com/support. You can actually check in the residential section, internet equipment network extender. I just got in here to show you a little bit more about this, because it's a very interesting feature that many people are using nowadays. And I have it as well in my home. Okay. Nothing. This is the end of the video. I just please put your comments below. Any concern that you have about this, do not hesitate to let me know. If I don't know, I'll search it and I get you know. But I'm really good with this one. I use it on my home every day, and I thought that I should share it with you. All right. Good luck and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.